someplace I gotta be tomorrow morning. Took some money that I shouldn't have. Truth is, I don't plan on turning myself in.
You can hide out here with me if you want.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. Did you move out here with any family?
My sister.
What's her name?
Catherine.
I mean, we ended up at the same place, you and me. You know, we took different roads, sure. But we're here together now, kicking it on the East River.
You're gonna kill yourself in the morning when the sun comes up, aren't you?
That's my business.
What about your wife, your sons, your two boys?
You'd be better off without me. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know how you get through your day, frankly, or what your plan is.
My plans? Same as yours, Desmond. Dying. They wouldn't even know what my name was if they find me dead out here one of these nights.
That's not true. I would know this.
How would you tell them what my name was if you were already dead?
Good afternoon and welcome back to My Harlem Portraits, the show that aims at shedding the light on the fundamental contribution of African Americans to the building of this country and on Black excellence. To talk about his new shows coming up and going on at the same time now, we have today the Nigerian American theater, film, and TV actor based in New York, best known to the Power fans, where he spent 3 seasons as US Marshal Macedon and named a torchbearer by the Friends of Vivian Robinson Theater, very important theater. Welcome to My Harlem Portraits, Tomike Ogugua.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And what an introduction, wow.
Did I pronounce it well, Ogugua?
Oh, you did, yes. Well, so let me give the people the pronunciation. It's Tomike Ogugua.
Ogugua. Okay, yeah. How do you pronounce it? Tomike Ogugua.
Yeah, you were very close. That's why I didn't incorrect you. I was like, go ahead on, girl.
Well, I would have, Ogugua would have been the Italian way to pronounce it, so I should have stuck to it. Okay, so you have been in a few movies, TV shows, and theater plays. Tell us which one has given you the most satisfaction, or which ones, and when was the point where you think that you were doing something that was giving you a push in the direction to get to the next level?
Oh, wow. It's such a loaded question, right? Because I've been doing this for so long.
Mm-hmm.
As you just said, like, well, people might not know I started on stage, and theater is my first love. But wow, it's hard to pick like favorite projects because each experience is a unique experience. But I would say the project that got me the most notoriety, so to speak, would be the 3 seasons I spent on Power as US Marshal Macedon. It's such an honor. Shout out to Courtney Kemp and 50 and all the good people over there. I had such a good time working with Omari Hardwick and Joseph Sikora and Notori Naughton and just the amazing cast, even though like I was guest starring each time I was on the show, they treated me like everyone else, and Omari really helped me out a lot when I was working with him. That man's work ethic is crazy. So shout out to Omari and everything he's doing now. But yeah, so Power is definitely a highlight. When I worked on Blue Bloods in season 7,
Mhm.
was an amazing experience as well. And that was like a short day. Most of the time you're on set, like Power, you're on set for about 10, maybe 11 hours.
Oh, wow.
We probably spent 5 hours tops when I was shooting Blue Bloods because they were on a, I don't know, something had happened, so they had to shorten the schedule. So again, it was like a half day in and out. So that was quite a memorable experience. Only because the scene I shot involved a smart car, right? It was the episode 718, where they're introducing a new like a new squad in the police department, and it's supposed to be full of these little smart cars, right? And so my scene, there's like an inside joke that happens when like the two officers who the series regulars, they come and break up a fight between me and someone else, and like a bunch of high school kids start coming and act like they're gonna turn the car over. You know what I mean? I had just shot a smart car commercial like a few weeks earlier in Bulgaria, so that was just like kind of wild to me that I just shot this commercial, a real smart car commercial, and then here we are on another set, and my scene is surrounded around the smart car. So I just thought that was real crazy, um. But yeah, I mean, each experience, either whether it's a theater, television, or film, they're all special, you know what I mean? But yeah, I've been quite fortunate.
And you are in a very interesting moment now because you are in two different shows at the moment, and you have two more coming very shortly. So
Yeah,
this is pretty good, right? So let's
absolutely.
start. How do you feel about that?
Oh man, what a time to be alive! What a time to be alive. Because things kind of slowed down because of the pandemic, but things picked right back up as the world started opening back up. Um, but yeah, I'm thankful to be a working actor first and foremost.
Mm.
It was very hard to be in this business because you have certain people that will come to you and they'll promise you the world and then not do it and lie and omit, and it's just totally unnecessary. You know what I mean? So I'm just thankful that I'm in a place now where I've moved on into bigger and better things. Now I'm auditioning for actual Broadway shows. I'm getting audition requests for Broadway plays now. And I'm about to do this show with Negro Ensemble Company called Untitled, where I'm playing the lead. It's the first lead I've played on stage in probably about 5 or 6 years. So I'm totally excited about that.
That's
And
very good. We're gonna talk about that later because I'm very interested. I know
okay.
very well the Negro Ensemble. I know very well Karen, who is a director.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know everybody
Okay.
because I've been seeing many of their plays. So we go in order.
Okay. So yeah. So right now I have
East River Story.
yeah. You took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, so we have East River Story that has been airing on Manhattan Neighborhood Network every Sunday since March. So each Sunday at 4:30 p.m., you guys can tune in and check it out. It's about two men who are from two totally different worlds, but they end up in the same place
Mm.
because of choices that they made or did not make. Such as in the case of the character I play named Henry. He's an unhoused man that lives on the East River, and he doesn't have an education. He moved to New York from North Carolina. He had a big sister that got involved with the drugs and the fast life. And then you have Desmond, who is the lead character played by the amazing Richard Byrd. And, he's this Wall Street banker and investor, but he committed a crime and was convicted of a crime. And the reason we're there together is because He's contemplating killing himself.
Mm-hmm.
And to procrastinate, he strikes up a conversation with my character. But what happens is we end up talking like all night and just reflecting on our lives. It changes each man's life forever. I can't give away the ending. You got to watch. You got to tune in at 4:30 every Sunday. You'll see what happens. But we've had an amazing ride with this project. We've won several awards all up and down the East Coast. We just got screened in Charlotte at the Charlotte Black Film Festival. We have the Hip Hop Film Festival coming next month. And shout out to Richard Bird. So Richard won Best Male Performance at the Queen City Film Festival in New Jersey. Then I ended up winning Best Supporting Actor at the Hang On to Your Shorts Film Festival, which is also another festival in New Jersey. Then we won Best Short Film at the Atlantic City Cinefest. And then we just won another award from the People's Film Festival up in Harlem. So it's just been amazing, and the responses that we've been getting have been very encouraging.
So my congratulations about that, and I'm gonna watch it because it is on the same channel, MNN.
Okay.
This show is gonna be this show always airs on MNN, but HD every Saturday at 12:30 p.m.
Oh, okay, awesome. Well, congratulations to you.
Oh, this has been going on for 2 years now.
Okay, cool.
I got about 100. I just checked yesterday. I had 113 interviews.
Oh, wow.
A lot, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm honored to be here.
During the pandemic, I learned how to do the show on Zoom instead of going to the studio because the studios were closed.
Right.
And then I learned how to edit by myself.
Oh, wow. Look
And
at
that
you.
kept me alive because otherwise, being isolated, but in that way, you had communication with people, and that's
right.
very, very important. So,
Right.
so then the next one is Shadow, which is directed by Brian Clyde and starring the hip hop star Saigon Entourage. Tell me a little bit about that.
Wow. So Shadows, I actually shot back in 2019, before the pandemic popped off. Or was it right at the beginning? It's such a blur. But my good friend Joe Shuba, who was one of the producers, approached me about playing Pastor Green. And the film is about the spirit of a man who comes back to haunt and taunt and get his revenge on those that took his life. So it's basically a horror film, but it's not your typical horror film because it touches a lot on spirituality, and there's some good acting going on. So it's a straight up drama. So it's not like one of these screen things. You know what I mean? It's a film with heart. You know what I mean? And it was fun. So I'm in 3 or 4 good scenes with the main characters, and it was fun. We just had a very dope premiere at the Magic Johnson Movie Theater up in Harlem, and again, the response was crazy. We had people actually mad that they had to stand up against the wall because they oversold the theater.
Oh, wow. So
we had people like standing in the aisles, people fussing about how they couldn't get a seat. Like, it was wild at the beginning, but once everyone shut down, we were all able to focus on the film and the wonderful work that my castmates did, along with Brian Clyde and Joe Shuba and Charlie Q, who is the executive producer. And again, that's going to be on Red Coral Universe. So, people want to check it out, go to Red Coral. And yeah, I mean, it's a quality film. I'm so happy about how it turned out.
And you play a pastor in that, right?
Yeah, I play Pastor Green, who counsels the young men who are part of the clique of dudes who kill this person. and they run to me for advice.
That
So
sounds like a very interesting plot.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, and again, tune in to Red Coral Universe where it's going to be distributed. Shout out to Joe Schubert, man, for getting me involved in that. I couldn't be any more happy about how that turned out.
Wonderful. Then we come to Unentitled that you were talking about.
Unentitled, yes. You know, I have mixed feelings about how I ended up in this project because there seems to be a thing with Actors Equity Association, which is the stage union, and smaller Black theater companies. There's some stuff behind the scenes that are going on with these unions, and as it pertains to the smaller Black theater companies. So how I ended up in this project is because they were already rehearsing the play, and they had to let go of the equity actors. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately for me, I was a member of the union, but I let my union membership lapse. So I called the union actually earlier this week, and they told me that I'm no longer in the union. That sort of allowed me to be in the current project that I'm rehearsing for, which is Untitled. And yeah, although I'm thankful for the opportunity, I don't like what is happening and how they are trying to squeeze the lifeblood out of these theater companies that are near and dear to my heart.
Explain a little bit more for those who don't understand how it works.
Okay, so
because I think this is an interesting thing to know about, because it's true that small or smaller Black theater companies, they are having a lot of problems with the unions and so on. And it's more difficult for them, of course, because paying those salaries is more difficult for them. So tell us a little bit, just a second.
Okay, so in New York City, what most smaller theater companies do is they get produced under what's called the showcase code. So it's a smaller bond that has to be paid, smaller salaries that can be paid to the actors, right? But what has happened since the pandemic is, they open the floodgates up to people being in the union, but if you're not working, there's no real sense in being in the union unless you're like doing a lot of regional theater or you're doing legit off Broadway or a Broadway show. There's no real use to be in the union. So in order to, I think, generate more money for the union, what they've done is stopped allowing these companies to use the showcase code and demand that these companies do what's called the LOA agreement, and which costs a lot more money to produce. And it just makes these companies jump through hoops, and it costs more money, simply money that the companies don't have. So that is the gist of it. And it needs to stop. And I just want to say one more thing. It's like theaters around the country are closing up shop, so American theater is dying. And I don't know how we can put an end to this chicanery, so to speak, that's going on, but something has to give. I love doing theater. I came from the stage. Like, of course, I do a lot of television and film now, but I love doing stage work. And it's a shame what's happening.
This is very important to talk about this thing because theater is fundamental, I think. And I know that also on Broadway, the producers on Broadway, they are not making money. The people who are making the money are the people who own the theater, mostly. So that said, it's very important to find out a way to try to ask for a way for the government, from the cities and so on, to support the arts, and especially the theater, because I think that's the fundamental part
You
of
know what? We used to have these discussions when I was an undergrad, about how the American theater is not supported by our government or elected officials. Um, in my vast experience, I've had the pleasure to work with British actors as well as French actors. Um, as I mentioned before, I shot a commercial in Bulgaria. I happened to be staying in the same hotel in Sofia, Bulgaria, with some Parisian actors from Paris, France.
Mhm.
And they told me that the French government gives them a stipend just to be artists, so they don't have to worry about trying to work a day job and run around like a lot of us have to do. They can just sit back and collect their money and focus on their art. And I've worked
And
with
you
Royal
were
Shakespeare Company as well.
wow.
Yeah, and I work with Royal Shakespeare Company as well, and they get a substantial. That's basically supported by the crown. You know, like I said, we don't have a national theater in the United States.
Yeah.
It's a shame. So and that goes into other discussions such as why do why do some people look at British actors as they're better or whatnot, and all these other discussions is because the government actually supports them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, that's a whole deep dive conversation.
Yeah, a whole nother story here, but
Yeah,
it's interesting to touch on that.
yeah.
So this one, Unentitled, tell us
Hmm.
a little bit because we're starting to run out of time.
Okay.
Starts on July 21st, which
Yeah, so it starts July 21st. We run through August the 6th. And this play is basically about legacy and risk. What are you doing? What are you willing to do? How much are you going to risk?
Mhm.
Um, so I play an attorney by the name of Frank Saunders who gets laid off from his big time firm. And he's just trying to figure out how he's going to make some money. And the most sensible thing he knows to do is to try to sell the beachfront property that his family owns in Sag Harbor, against the wishes of his wife.
Oh.
Um, yeah, so that's
Who
one
owns
layer
it?
of it. Hmm?
Who owns it? Because it
Who
belongs
owns
to
it?
the wife, right?
Yeah, it belongs to the wife's family.
Yeah.
But my character is the one that has invested the most money in the upkeep.
Okay.
But the house is in the wife's name and the brother-in-law's name.
Mhm.
So that's it. Yeah.
So that's and this is will be at the 59 East 59 Theater.
Yes. Yes. In Midtown East. Yep.
And that's
59.
good. It's a pretty good address, right?
Pretty good address, and I can't wait. That is a fantastic theater, and I've always wanted to work there. So that's what's up. Another milestone reached. You know,
I'll be waiting for your invitation to see it. Okay.
you got it.
So the next project you have also with the Negro Ensemble Company, and this one is directed by Karen Brown, who is
Hmm.
and it's called MECCA is Burning. And it will start on the 6th of August until the 21st of August. Tell
Hmm.
us a little bit about that, because that's
So
right here in Harlem.
yeah, right here in Harlem. So we're gonna perform that actually at Harlem School of the Arts. So I'm excited about that as well. Harlem is Burning is basically a protest play. Um, that rails against the gentrification that's happening in Harlem.
Mhm.
Um, Mecca is burning. Now, the title is significant because the Mecca that's being referred to is Harlem, because
Yeah,
Harlem is the Mecca of Black
yeah,
arts. So,
like
yeah,
that.
it's basically written by five playwrights, and it follows several families, and each playwright writes about a different family, but it's a through line play. So there are no vignettes or anything. It's entire through line play, and the way it's written is beautiful. There's a lot of poetry, and it's almost like a choreo poem in a sense,
Mhm.
But yeah, there's some fantastic works going on, and again, I'm honored that they asked me to do it.
And you are playing. Who are you playing in this?
Ironically, I'm playing another man named Henry, just like in East River Story.
Mhm.
So my particular scenes, I play the father of an adult daughter who's in college, and I'm a hardworking man. I work a lot, and I come home, and I just want to hang out and chill. And you know how that is when you get into it with your child. Um, yeah, and we start bumping heads, and then the whole backdrop of again the gentrification in Harlem, and what my dreams are, and what my inspirations are for the community. But yeah, I can't give it all away. You got to come see
No, of
it.
course not. So thank you for this conversation. That was very interesting to know also the different things that are going on in the theater. And I wish you the best. In bocca al lupo for your coming shows and the one that you are engaged already in. And thank you to my Harlem Portraits viewers. We'll see you next time, 12:30, always on MNN. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Tomike.